everyone, welcome to special presentation with Mike and Ethan, and once again, our all-time favorite friend, Steph Cherrywell. Or, you can say it this time, Steph.
Alf will not be seen tonight.
Hey!
Bravo!
So,
nicely done. Nicely
yes.
done.
Oh, we need to make that a regular thing where our guest gets to say Alf will not be seen tonight. We're gonna have to remember that for next time. Anyway, so it is the Halloween season. And as the Halloween season begins, we always want to reach back into one of our favorite groups, which belongs to the a certain subheading of humanity dubbed spooky.
Yes, that's awesome. It's spoopy season.
It's spoop season,
Right.
yes. And Steph brought up this a while ago. We've actually had Steph to talk about this family before, but this is a very different take on it. So, Steph, why don't you tell us about our focus tonight?
Our focus tonight, we're visiting the Addams family again, but this time we're looking at a very modern incarnation. We're talking about the Netflix show Wednesday. And
I
believe
remember my parents watched this like last year, and for some reason I was just like, I have zero interest in this. But then but the time comes to watch it for my show, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm getting into it now.
Was it not spoopy?
I was very excited by it just because I like the Addams family. I like that it's kind of staying relevant for current generations. Apparently, this is popular. It's on its. They've renewed it for a third season, which since it's Netflix will presumably be the last one.
Yeah, I mean, usually Netflix only gives you 2 seasons, so fingers crossed that One Piece gets a third. But
yeah, hopefully. I don't know what.
Actually, I think they already confirmed it.
Did they?
Good,
I
good
don't know if they're going to Skypiea for that or if they're going to skip to something else, because that's kind of an arc that a lot of people don't think is great, but it spaces out certain characters' arcs in an important way, which I guess would, if this was about One Piece, I could go on at excruciating length. But
nobody likes Skypiea. We all moved to Discordia.
Yeah. We talked about previously. We talked about the Addams Family movies when I was on, which was a long time ago. I was listening to that one again recently, and I think I said my niece had just been born at that point, and she's now 4.
Wow!
So she's walking and talking and obsessed with Paw Patrol, as is typical for 4-year-olds.
The children.
Is the children? Yes.
Yeah.
I think they're our future. I think children are our future.
Since then, I came out with a couple of books. I just want to plug them real fast before we go into anything. Unboxing Libby is a science fiction book about robots. The Ink Witch is a very witchy and appropriately spooky book about a trans witch girl who goes on a quest to save her mom. They are both middle grade books, and that you can find at your local library.
I'd highly recommend both of them. I'm in the credits for both of them, which is very, very nice because when I read Unboxing Libby, I was like, oh, this isn't the book I thought I was reading. But I had read the original version of The Ink Witch, and the final version is so good. Honestly, everyone go to your library, or better yet, go to your bookstore.
Yeah, you've read both. Like, you read very early versions, and then you read it after the editors and everyone had gotten through with it, and they really improved it a lot. But let's see. So we're talking now. We're talking today about Wednesday, even though it's Monday. We're talking about the show. Now, I have seen only season 1.
Me too. That's as far as I got too. So
because I watched it on DVD because I don't have most of the streaming services. So, but there is a DVD release of season 1.
Yes.
So you've seen season 1.
I was at Target, and they also have Wednesday cereal now.
Oh, interesting. That takes me back.
Or at least they have Enid cereal. I don't know if I didn't see a box with Wednesday on it.
Wait, is Enid is it Enid brand Fruit Brute?
Basically, yes. It is kind of like a fruity pastel cereal. Let me see. I gotta find this. Yeah.
Enid is a character in the Addams Family now?
Yeah. Yes.
Seen this at all,
No,
Mike?
Mike has not seen any of this. We
I have
to
not seen any of
explain
it. No, you're gonna be explaining this to me, so
You're learning about it for the first time.
I am a Addams Family virgin. Actually, no, I'm not. I get Wednesday virgin. I'm Wednesday virgin.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm only a virgin on Wednesdays too. Wink.
No.
Okay. Well, so shall I kind of give you the rundown then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
let's hear it.
Okay. So this is, if you're familiar with the Addams Family, we still have the Addams Family, but this is a version that takes place when Wednesday is a teenager. She gets in trouble at her school for unleashing piranhas on some kids that are bullying Pugsley, and for that she gets sent to a school called Nevermore Academy, which is for what they call outcasts. And for the most part, outcasts seem to be monsters. It's basically Monster High.
Yeah, they don't really go into a lot of explanation. In fact, I think we could use a lot more explanation than we get. But yeah, outcast, because initially they seem to posit it like there's 4 different kinds of outcasts. It turns out there's a lot more. That's the 4 are just like the 4 major ethnic groups at the school.
Yeah, outcasts are. It's very briefly explained. Essentially, they are known minorities in this world who are like, people don't think of monsters as being supernatural. They know they exist, but there's prejudice against them, essentially. Oh, okay. There's Enid with color changing milk.
It's confetti cake. Yeah, wow. Cake flavored cereal. They finally, part of this complete breakfast, I'm sure.
So yes, we have 4 main types of monsters, which are werewolves and vampires, which are kind of like your gimme monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also have, I think, gorgons. They describe them as stoners. That's the clique. And then there are sirens, who are essentially, they can mind control you.
Yeah, they're mermaids, but we don't really get into that, except that they mentioned that they have scales.
There's the most prominent Gorgon guy, I think, actually reminds me a lot of Deuce from Monster High. So there's another parallel, because he even has the beanie hat with with his snakes hidden under it.
Oh yeah, that's extremely Monster High.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because even at Monster High, you have to hide that you're a monster, apparently.
So Wednesday's roommate is Enid, who is a werewolf, but she is extremely bright and peppy. I think, Ethan, you really cottoned on to this fast. They're very, very strong Elphaba and Galinda vibes from these two.
I was like, wow, they were really trying to do Wicked this series, weren't they?
Yeah,
even the shots of their window really suggests the whole part with the image of Elfie and Galinda standing in front of the clock.
Yeah, and they have a similar arc too, where they kind of come in and instantly clash because they're so different, and then eventually come to become friends and appreciate each other. But Enid really points out one of the odd things about this premise, in that Enid is a werewolf, but she's basically like a regular person. And most of the kids are basically like, they're in the school for outcasts, but they're essentially normal kids who just happen to be monsters. And then you have someone like Wednesday, who is not physically a monster, but is just really weird and dangerous. So it's an interesting mix that they've got there. They've also got some people who don't fit into any of those groups. I think you briefly mentioned that. There's who have sort of ambiguous magic powers of various kinds.
Yes, there is at least one character who you're sort of like, is he an outcast because he's a monster, or is it just because he's a nerd? And eventually we learned that he actually can control animals. So
Yeah, so
but it doesn't come up until like the last minute.
Yeah, some people are just kind of magic users. And actually, Wednesday herself is a sort of a magic user in a way, because one thing they added to her character is that she she occasionally has sort of like dead zone type visions where she touches somebody and gets a vision of the future
or the past. Yes.
or the past. Yeah, she learns stuff about them.
We're also informed that Morticia has this ability too. And we're also informed, and this really took me by surprise, that that Wednesday and Morticia have a very tense and sometimes antagonistic relationship, which seemed very out of character for me.
That's really different. I guess I took it as just something like, Wednesday's become a teenager now, so she's got that kind of. I mean, the family was always very individual, but like both close knit, but also very into their own thing, and this is maybe this starting to come out a little bit more. She's kind of pushing against those boundaries.
Yeah. Now, overall, I would say that I liked this show. I did end up watching the whole thing, but it feels really uneven to me. What it felt like more than anything was that it was supposed to be about something else, and then they did a rewrite to add Addams Family characters.
Interesting.
For one thing, Wednesday herself comes across as, Jenna Ortega is definitely trying to do the Christina Ricci thing, and she does a great job. But the way she's written, she's more like young Sheldon.
Oh.
Yeah, she has a lot of abilities. She can fix. She's bad with computers. At least she is at the beginning, but she can fix most machinery. She describes it as because she used to build things. Which I think in the movies we do see her building a lot of stuff. So I guess that kind of tracks as a progression of that. But
yeah, I think if you look at the comics or the original TV show, she tends to be the engineer, and Pugsley is more like a chemist or mad scientist.
Yeah,
that doesn't come up in this. Pugsley is just kind of a normal kid in this one.
Yeah,
that's why they didn't make him go to the thing.
Yep.
Pugsley is, I think, the least has probably the smallest role of any Addams Family member. Really, Wednesday has by far the largest role. Thing is also in this and is fairly important.
Yes, it's the unboxed version of Thing again.
Yeah, he kind of comes. He is originally sent to keep an eye on Wednesday, and she very quickly finds him and turns him into working for her. In this, he actually has stitches on him, so it's kind of implied that he has either been made at some point or maybe cut off from somebody else.
Yeah.
He's good. Wednesday does say it's an old Addams Family mystery, so nobody knows for sure Thing's origin.
I was hoping it would actually come up in the show. It would be very funny if we get a later thing where it shows Morticia actually signing up at the school because she also went to the school when she was a kid, and then somebody comes bustling up behind her, is like, "Oh, who's this? Ah, my little brother. This is Thing Frump." But we don't.
Yeah, you can see them giving some kid that name.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, we don't see him, but there is one nod to Cousin It.
I forget where that came from.
There is one of the secrets that they look for turns out to be in a safe behind a painting of a famous alumnus named Iggy It.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I've actually forgotten quite a bit of the show because I watched it a while ago. So I kind of remember set pieces more than exactly what happened in the plot. But I did rewatch the first episode, so I'm a lot fresher on that.
Yeah.
But I like how they worked certain aspects of the lore into it, like the way you get into the secret room.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing is, that's the thing. There is a secret society in this school, and the way that you get into, we find out that the way that you get into the secret room where the secret society meets is to stand in front of a statue of Edgar Allan Poe and go, which, it's clever, but it also kind of has that Surf Dracula feel to it.
Wait, sorry. What are you supposed to do in front of the statue?
You snap twice, like the Addams Family.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I get it. That's very Surf Dracula.
It works in this because it's like a little nod. It's not. They're not really hiding a lot of Addams Family lore because there isn't
Yeah.
really a lot of Addams Family lore. I mean, it's just a very strange family. Like all the lore is little side things and gags, or
Yes.
like the implication that there are strange things afoot, like pulling Uncle Knick-Knack out of the closet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't need like 2 episodes about how did Uncle Knick-Knack get in the closet.
Well, I mean, that's actually kind of a issue I have with the show, but we'll get into that later. Let's talk about the rest of the actual Addams family. We have Luis Guzman as Gomez, and I don't think any version of Gomez has looked as much like the Charles Addams drawing as Luis Guzman does.
Yeah, he's very in keeping with the original cartoons rather than
Yes.
the typical live action like suave slim Gomez that we've seen from with Raul Julia and I can't remember
John
the
Astin, yeah.
John Astin, yeah, the actor from the television series.
Yeah, I mean they were both great. Absolutely no shade on either one of them. But Luis Guzman really gives you that kind of. I mean, when you look at the comics, Gomez is sort of lumpy, and Luis Guzman really leans into that. And at the same time, you can still see that he is absolutely embodying Gomez, even the sexy parts. And so, speaking of which, we also have Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, and this is a slightly more middle-aged Morticia. So she's a little thicker than you might expect Morticia to be, but I was pretty impressed with her performance.
Interesting.
Well, I think like a lot of the cartoon versions of Morticia is like she has like a 3-inch waist. So
yeah.
But yeah, but she's I mean it makes sense. Wednesday is a teenager, so the parents are older too.
Yes. It should also be noted that the executive producer and director of 4 out of 8 episodes was Tim Burton. So this is
and you get a very Burton-y opener too.
Oh yeah, the opener has the biggest dose of Burton flavor to it, and you can see why he immediately clicked with Jenna Ortega and brought her on for Beetlejuice.
That's what I still have to watch. So
oh really? You haven't seen it? Oh, we do recommend it. Yeah.
I really should. I'm just way behind on movies.
Well, I know someone who would love to show you that movie.
I know. I see many pictures of Weasel Juice on Blue Sky.
Well, if that doesn't sell you on the new Beetlejuice movie, we'll just wait till the furry version comes out. Someday.
Okay, let's see. What about and then there's the school cast. Let's see. Of course, we've got we were talking about Enid, played by Emma Myers, who is a werewolf who paints her claws all different colors.
Yeah.
But we don't actually see her turn into a wolf until the last episode of the first season.
She actually is unable to do it for a long time.
Yes. They call it wolfing out, just like in the Teen Wolf cartoon.
We have a very big school cast because this is a mystery, so they have to introduce a lot of possible people and red herrings to investigate. I think over the course of the series, there's several. There are, I think, several different culprits and several people who are just up to things that aren't necessarily connected to the main mystery. Also, there's an evil pilgrim.
Yes.
What? The pilgrim? What?
Yes, there's an evil pilgrim. So yeah, if you feel like this really does feel like they took the episode where this week Scooby-Doo meets the Addams Family, and they made a series about it.
I just thought he is very Scooby-Doo. He's like the ghost pilgrim. It reminded me of the summer camp from the second movie.
Oh yeah, very much so.
They have Pilgrim World. They have these like teen dorks, like not dorks, douchebags, I guess.
Yeah.
Those teen bullies who like wander around causing trouble, but they're dressed as pilgrims.
Huh.
They're like a pilgrim gang.
So yeah, and then we've got the sirens are mostly represented by Bianca, who is played by Joy Sunday, who is kind of the leader of the popular girls, but she seems to lose that role pretty early on and just kind of fade into the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, she's posited very early on as like a rival for Wednesday,
and then that kind of goes nowhere. And one thing I thought was kind of interesting about this was that the casting is relatively race blind, or maybe it's not, because almost all the black characters are initially posited as bad guys, and then they're not.
I'm trying to think of how many there were.
There's
one of the
Bianca.
Pilgrims.
She's black. There's her mother, who we only see for one episode, but it's implied that she really is a bad guy. And then there's the mayor, who is sort of not necessarily bad, but he's participating in a cover-up. And then there's his son, who is actually one of the bully pilgrims, but he actually gets better over the course of the series. So I feel like someone was like, yeah, he does in fact kind of turn over a new leaf, and especially because he starts to hit it off with one of the outcast girls. And let's see, we've got the sheriff, and this is basically your typical small town sheriff, except to take away the kind of aviator glasses and big belly, but otherwise basically that.
Yeah, and his thing is that he's investigating some murders. Oh, there are murders. There are murders in the world. Very violent murders, and he thinks that it's possibly these people getting torn to shreds have something to do with the school full of werewolves, which is prejudice, but also like not the worst line of investigation, I think.
Yeah. If it's like, all these people are showing up with claw and fang marks, probably a bear. That's the rational explanation. We also have his son.
It kind of has the Marvel X-Men issue where you're positing this group of people as kind of a stand-in for like, real world groups that have faced depression, but the metaphor kind of falls apart if you look at it, because they actually are powerful enough that they would be somewhat dangerous in the real world.
So it's not, it's definitely not right to, it's not right to say lock them in a burning barn, but you should certainly, you should definitely at least keep an eye. That is in fact something that happens, but not in this timeline. That's why there's an evil pilgrim, because he did in fact sweep the area clean of all of the monster people, lock them in a burning barn, and kill them. Wow. So there's kind of Jebediah Springfield versus Hans Sprungfeld thing going on.
Yeah, he's Joseph Crackstone, and he is the
Crackstone.
Crackstone.
Right.
Joseph Crackrock, right?
Sorry. He is the town's founder. They have a big statue of him. That gets, I think, dramatically blown up in the middle of the series. And towards the end, they actually bring him back to life, and there is a evil pilgrim ghost running around.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, there's spoilers here.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, but it's only spoilers for the first season, so yeah.
Yeah. People. Yeah.
We also have. Supposedly, the first normie teacher at the school is Marilyn Thornhill, who is played by, and I didn't even pick up on this when I watched it, Christina Ricci.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't. Yeah, I mean, she's not doing a Wednesday.
No.
She's just this character, but she's playing her. But yeah, that's.
If I had known that when I was watching it, I would have been making a different, whodunit map in my head.
Yeah, I mean, it's very cool that they were able to include her.
Yeah. I think she's the only one from the original Addams Family to come back, although, for all I know, Jimmy Workman might have been behind the camera because that's where he moved after this.
He is a cameraman. And we did mention there is one more member of the Addams Family who I sort of thought they were just not going to have, but then he shows up for one episode or a couple episodes is kind of like a cameo. Towards the end, we have Fester shows up, and he seems like he's kind of a wandering inventor. He has like some kind of electric gadget.
I liked that because looking at the original comics, you almost never see Fester with the rest of the Addams Family. He's more of a sort of wanderer. And so it was nice that they kind of acknowledged that he's, he isn't necessarily a homebody.
Wasn't the idea that he was their uncle like an invention of the TV show? I don't think that was really.
Yeah, it was, but. Well, the idea that he was an uncle, definitely, but in the TV show, he was Morticia's uncle. This show follows the movie's model of him being Gomez's brother, and thus the kid's uncle.
Yeah, and in the original cartoons, he was just like another guy that Charles Addams drew sometimes.
Yeah, he was almost more like Charles Addams' self-portrait.
Yeah, I mean I think the most famous one being him laughing in the theater when everyone else is crying.
Yes.
But yeah, he didn't really have any relation to the family in that, and they just decided, we have to have that guy.
There's one Fester cartoon that I didn't get as a kid, and now that I understand it, it's my favorite of all time. Those paintings of like those radial patterns that they paint on barns that are supposed to be like to guard against evil.
Well, yeah, they're like hexes or something.
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, they're like hexes to keep evil away. There's a scene where some of them, where they're painting some on a barn, and in the foreground, Uncle Fester is laughing his head off.
Oh, like that's not gonna keep me from drinking the cow's blood.
Oh yeah, he tries to eat the bees in this. Oh, speaking of bees, that's my favorite character in this is Eugene, who is kind of this movie's version of Joel from Addams Family Values.
I was thinking that he kind of seemed like Wednesday's old boyfriend.
Yeah, he's kind of a cross between him but he also has some Pugsley characteristics. So Wednesday kind of warms to him because he reminds her of her brother. And he is, she's forced to take on an extracurricular activity, and then they're all full of snobs as they tend to be, and then she finds this extracurricular activity for beekeeping, which is a club with one member, this awkward little kid, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm up for this."
And I think don't they basically he just seems like a normal kid who's just weirdly into beekeeping, but then at the end you find out he can actually control the bees.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. He also has two moms, which they don't make too much about. It's just presented as a fact. So
yeah, that's
so again, there's kind of I don't know if this falls into the same category as race blind casting, but but it was a nice little touch there. Oh, and then we also have Ajax, the Gorgon. We talked about him, didn't we? Yeah.
I mentioned that he reminded me of Deuce Gorgon from Monster High.
Yes. Where we also have a scene where he ends up standing up Enid on a date because he accidentally looks himself in the mirror and when he gets out of the shower. So apparently getting stoned is temporary.
Yeah, because he gets better from that. Now,
we don't see it happen.
Yeah, it's been a while. I feel like that would be a misunderstanding that would be very easy to clear up after the fact.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they actually did.
They did, but the only explanation was that he was really embarrassed that he did it and he didn't want to tell her. And of course, she has no idea why it's so embarrassing because she's not a Gorgon. Oh,
Yeah, no, you
also,
think you can just say, "Hey, I had an accident" or something without going
yeah.
into the details, just so you don't look like a complete jerk.
Of course, you can't do that when you're made of stone for an evening or however long it takes to get better. Also, it kind of sucks if you turn to stone while looking in a mirror, because then when you turn back, you're still looking at the mirror. It probably took him
Oh,
a
yeah.
while to get better.
Yeah, that's a
I
problem.
don't know how long it takes. I mean, I assume somebody found him and just like moved him, like covered the mirror or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heal naturally, or maybe does another Gorgon have to unstone you?
Yeah. Or bite you or something. Yeah. All it's pretty different from most Addams Family stuff, because most of them don't really get into the monster manual this deeply.
Mhm. Yeah, this is interesting in that most Addams Family things, the supernatural aspects are very kind of on the periphery. I mean, you do have things like the magic books from the movies, or
Yeah.
things that are alive that shouldn't be, like the rugs, but it's rare to have something that actually has a consistent supernatural element like this, with like Wednesday having psychic powers, with monsters and spells, with a ghost and things. So that was an interesting change to it. They've always kind of hinted at that,
So,
but
yeah, I mean, that's why it sort of felt like to me all through this, I kind of felt like it was the Addams Family guest starring in a different show.
yeah, I mean, it does feel very different from what the Addams Family has been in the past, which is different. I kind of I still kind of liked it. I mean, I think it's cool that they kind of take these very iconic characters and tried something different with them.
Yeah, I
Like,
definitely applaud that effort. And I also like the idea that the Addams Family can just sort of invade another genre of show and take it over. I think they should focus on that in the future. There should be a show that's like, oh, Paw Patrol, where the Addams Family moves in and starts taking over.
yeah, no, I
That's
watch way too much Paw Patrol because my niece is really into it. So I know all the characters now, and I know that they have very, very low stakes missions. Like,
Oh,
oh no, we're trapped in our treehouse because a ladder fell over. Oh, 6 people in the entire town's entire rescue budget. Hope there's no bank robberies.
this sounds like a great place to rob a bank. Their cops are all dogs.
You never
What are you gonna
see
do?
any.
Take a fingerprint?
You never see any like rescue infrastructure that is not dog based.
Hmm.
I mean, there's also a guy who is like the mayor of a rival town who has an equivalent team of cats who are just there they're called the Kitten Catastrophe Crew, and they're just there to cause trouble.
That
That
seems
rules.
like a bad business model.
Yeah, well, I was watching it, I was thinking, it's amazing that this guy does nothing but commit crimes, and he has a whole team of people whose entire job is to make things worse, and they still let him be mayor. And then I'm like, I can't say it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
That's like when I was 11, I made up this comic idea where there's like a whole town of heroes and a whole town of villains. And then when I tried to write a story about that, I was like, wait, this is completely unfeasible.
The town of well, it sounds like and that sounds like the island from Descendants.
Let's see. Oh, we have a couple of notable monsters that we haven't talked about in this school. Well, one of them is the principal, who, as it turns out, is a shapeshifter.
That's right. She's really tall. I think you see her. They kind of shoot her so she's not really in this shot with other people at the same time.
Yeah.
But whenever you do see someone with her, she's like just really. She's got a Lady Dimitrescu thing going on.
Yes, this is Gwendolyn Christie. You probably know her from a lot of nerd stuff like Star Wars and Sandman.
Those
But
are
the
not the things
other,
a nerd for, so I don't. But
but the other interesting kind of monster we have here is the Hide, and the Hide is a basically imagine a monster with the head of Beetlejuice's snake form. It is the most Tim Burton looking thing, and this is the monster that's been killing people.
Yeah, and this is an interesting take on the idea of Mr. Hyde, because in this you kind of a Hyde is sort of controlled by someone else. So you've got kind of a Jekyll, but it's like a Jekyll master who controls the Hyde, who is a different person who doesn't really have control over their hiding.
Wait, so is it more like a vampire thrall almost type situation, or what is this?
Yeah, maybe.
The details exactly, because they went into it at the end.
We are initially Wednesday's initial thought is that somebody is hypnotizing the Hyde into transforming and doing their bidding. She turns out to be wrong.
It creates a good sort of multi-layer mystery, because you can have, well, who's the Hyde, and then it's like, who's controlling the Hyde.
That makes for some interesting implications about the original story of Dr. Jekyll. So if he wasn't the controlling the Hyde, who was controlling him?
Oh, the original story is very interesting, because you get because it's actually a mystery. Like they don't explain how Hyde works until after he's dead, and then there's like a long info dump about here's what was going on.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's Jekyll and Hyde is one of those things like Rosebud was the sled. It's supposed to be a surprise.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes, where there's like a twist that everybody knows, and so nobody really realizes that it's supposed to be a twist anymore. It also has the wonderful line where they're looking for Hyde, and one of the characters says, if he is Dr. Hyde, then I shall be, Mr. Hyde. If he is Mr. Hyde, then I shall become Mr. Seek.
Oh, that's good, actually. That's
a real line from the book.
Yep.
Wow. Wait, it's really?
You're joking. It is.
Oh, you know what? I take back everything I ever said about Robert Louis Stevenson. That man is a genius. That is chef's kiss.
I thought there was actually a joke about that in Midnight Pals already.
Oh, was there? I'm taking credit for it then. Wow, I guess maybe I'm the genius after all.
So yeah, there's murders going on, including a murder from 20 years ago that Gomez was acquitted of, but was later tried to pin on him again. So we see Gomez going to prison.
Yeah, another interesting change in this show is that the Addams are subject to legal penalties to a degree that they aren't in most versions. I mean, except in the movie where they essentially got sent up by a crooked judge, but they never actually got in trouble for any of the actual criminal things they did.
That is one of the things that struck me as the weirdest about this, is because, the way the Addams family works, it's always implied that the Addams family are, in fact, constantly murdering people and stuff, but, while you're not looking. In this one, they really had to state unobjectively that objectively that the Addams family are good people and they would never kill anybody. They just really like the aesthetics of being murderers.
Yeah, I mean, they do skate a fine line, because I mean the opening thing is Wednesday like throwing piranhas into the pool, and like they attack people, and you see like blood. So and she does get in trouble for that, and has to go to like gets put in a different school. She has to go see a court-appointed therapist, I think, for that. The timing of that, I thought that was a little bit weird. Like in that scene with the piranhas, I feel like this is a difference between this show and any previous version of the Addams Family. Because in this one, you actually see the piranhas like attacking the guy, and there's blood. In any previous version, it would have had her hold up the piranhas, and then you would have heard da 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 da, and then it would stop.
I guess they didn't know what to do with that Netflix money. Had to put in those CGI fish.
Yeah.
But we are also informed that she's been to 8 different schools, that she keeps getting kicked out of school.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought Nancy Reagan High School was going to be the one to work.
Well, I mean, if that was the 8th, then it was probably not their first choice. What surprises me is that the next one she goes to is, in fact, the one that Gomez and Morticia went to. Why did they not pick that one first?
Yeah.
Wait, so it's the one that... What is the senior Addams went to high school in this that Gomez that
yeah, Gomez and Morticia both went to what is this school called? Edgar Allan Poe High School? Oh, Nevermore Academy. Yes,
but it's very Poe themed. They have like a statue of him.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And he went, and supposedly he went there. I guess it wasn't called Nevermore Academy at the time.
Wait, so in this world was Edgar Allan Poe like a monster?
We haven't gotten into that, at least not in the first season.
No, I think he was whatever the Addams are, because he kind of has that vibe.
A psychic? Yeah.
Or
we didn't mention the psychic.
A weird person.
Yeah, that's actually. Yeah, there's actually another character we forgot to talk about, Xavier, who is an artist, but he's also a psychic, and he can actually make his drawings come to life, which is pretty cool. Initially, he is the one that Wednesday pegs as actually being the Hyde. It turns out he's not.
Oh.
But I don't know, Steph, should we actually get into who it is? Who done it?
I want to know who it is. Tell me.
Well, I'm going to let you do that because I watched it long enough ago that I remember who it is, but I don't remember all the details of like what was going on and how, like, the cause and effect. It's just kind of a blob.
Okay, well, we didn't get into it because I wasn't sure if we were going to be getting into the spoilers for this episode. But so we mentioned the sheriff. The sheriff also has a son who is working at a cafe where Wednesday hangs out, and they start to actually get form a rapport, and he even takes her out for a birthday dinner at a crypt where he promises her the scariest movie that she's ever seen in her life. It's Legally Blonde.
Oh, because things are opposite for the Addams.
Yes. Yeah. And at this point, she has fingered Xavier, and he's been dragged away by the sheriff. And this night she ends up getting her first kiss with this boy Tyler, and that's when she realizes he's the Hyde. She gets another vision, and she's like, "Oh fuck! Of course, the first boy that I kissed would be a homicidal maniac. I guess I have a type." It should be noted that all the boys in this are super tall, and Wednesday, Jenna Ortega herself, always seems like she's about 3 feet. So it really seems like she's a little girl in this high school, but
she's very, she kind of slouches. That's a Wednesday thing.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, I thought she always stood like she had a broom up her ass.
I don't know. I think she has a vibe of slouching, even if she's not doing it.
She just has that slouch feeling. And but yeah, she figures out that he's the Hyde, but she still doesn't know who's controlling him. Initially, she thinks it's the principal, but then she manages to get the principal on her side to help her reveal that the actual controller is the normie teacher, Mrs. Thornhill, Christina Ricci.
Oh, what a twist.
Yes. Like I said, I would have I would have probably fingered her right away if I'd recognized it as Christina Ricci.
I never would have expected that the normie was actually the villain because, in normal life, normal people are, they're very upstanding citizens and they never do anything like weird. So the fact that the normal person is like the villain, but the weirdos are here, it is like up is down. It's insane. I can't believe it. I've never seen anything like this before.
And the reason that she is except that she's not actually. Oh wait, no, I think I'm misremembering it. No, she is definitely a normie, but she is in fact the daughter of a outcast hating a rich family who all basically ended up. The whole family ended up falling apart because one of them ended up dying, and it looked like Gomez did it, but he didn't.
Yeah. She's a bit of a poison ivy.
Yeah, very much so.
She doesn't have any actual powers, but she has a lot of she takes care of like dangerous plants.
Yeah, she's the botany teacher. So she and Wednesday immediately hit it off as they're talking about like poisonous oleander. So But no, she ends up killing the shape-shifting principal, which means that there's a different principal next season. And I didn't. Apparently, the new principal is Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw him in the cast list, and I was like, I remember him, but no, he's apparently season 2. But I mean, has he been in any Addams Family thing before? Because he feels like a really good fit.
I don't know. I mean, it's been long enough since I saw the original Barry Sonnenfeld movies that I can't remember if he was there or not. I remember Nathan Lane, but I don't remember Steve Buscemi.
I don't think he was in them, honestly. I feel like we would have remembered that.
Yeah.
Probably, was that even before or after Reservoir Dogs? Would we have known who he was by then?
No, I mean, we would remember because we've seen it in them since,
Yeah,
I have. I've seen them more recently, so I would know Steve Buscemi. He was not in those movies. So yeah, he is very Addams Family coded. He fits in very well.
Okay, gosh, do we have any final thoughts on the Addams or on Wednesday?
I think it's, I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to digging into that second season. But I mean, it's still, I still think that the show's tone is very uneven because they do have to skate that fine line between keeping the Addams Family as good guys and still keeping them, in character as, people who celebrate death and the macabre. Because if you can't pretend that they're killing people off screen, it's sort of weird. It's sort of like when I was showing a friend my comics collection and I showed them Milk and Cheese, which has always been one of my favorites. Where Milk and Cheese, if you don't know Milk and Cheese, it's about a carton of milk and a wedge of cheese, and they run around and drink beer and yell and hit people. And yes. And I showed it to my friend, and he was kind of looking, queasy about it and being like, why do they keep killing people? And I was like, killing people? Gee, it never occurred to me that they would actually be killing people. I just saw them breaking bottles over people's heads and stabbing them with shards of records and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I go on.
No, the show is it has to keep a certain balance, which is really hard because you can't have Wednesday like being okay with people getting killed, or it just becomes like Dexter. So you have to have her being opposed to it while also being very morbid and kind of constantly bringing up, how terrifying she is.
Yeah. The other issue with it is that, by having her keep her, stone-faced personality, she comes across as way more autistic than she used to.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, she has a very neurodivergent kind of feel to her.
But it also, and I think that also it can be to her detriment because she doesn't seem to react like, people would in a given situation. But when she does, it really sells it. One of my favorite moments is how genuine her smile is when she recognizes that the creep that she was chasing at who was staring at her from over the crowd at a funeral. She follows him into the woods and then discovers that it's Uncle Fester and is, genuinely glad to see him. They keep her smiles so, few and far between that it really sells it when she does.
Yeah, it's not like the Christina Ricci version where she basically never smiled except once after she had been sort of tortured into it.
Yes.
This Wednesday does smile sometimes, but it is a very rare occasion when something breaks through.
I'm not sure how I feel about the idea of her being so, antagonistic toward her mother. But I mean, it feels like we're coming in on the middle of the story. Like we should have seen at least a couple of episodes, showing, just the Addams family doing Addams family things that would actually follow in on the whole idea of, set up this new normal for us, because we're not really. The new normal is being drip fed to us over the course of Wednesday's new normal. So we're learning two things at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, they made this very much for an audience that's kind of new to the Addams family, even though
Yes.
there are a lot of nods as well. I mean, they kind of don't take it as they have to establish the new normal because they're just saying, no, this is like, take what we show you, and that's the world. And even though it mostly kind of fits with, if you were to put this with the movies, it would most things would fit as like a 5 years later version, but there are like little things that are inconsistent, and I don't think they felt like they had to be wedded to making it completely match.
Yeah. As I understand it, the upcoming third season is going to feature Granny Frump, who hasn't appeared before.
Cool.
So that's going to be interesting.
Frump,
yeah, the witch. So what I always thought was interesting about her was that she was intended to sort of be, not the villain, but kind of the antagonist because she kept screwing up in the original show.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of like a dotty old lady, right?
Yeah. Somebody who, obviously meant well, or at least as well as you can mean when you're an Addams, but who's but whose failures tended to set the plot into motion. But it sounds like they want her to be a very, very powerful sorceress, and I'm guessing probably an alumnus of the school herself.
Sense. I mean, that's very different from how she is in the movies, where she just seems like a kooky old lady who, might she might she might throw a bat wing into a stew and yell "za" at you, but but that's about it.
I think what do you think of the scene where, again, since we're getting into spoilers, what do you think about the scene where Thing gets stabbed?
That was pretty dark, but I mean, I thought they managed to wring some real emotion out of like just a hand getting stabbed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
she
always
actually
been
she finds him literally pinned to one of the beams of her room like a fly, and has to bring him to Uncle Fester to try and zap back to life with his lightning, and it takes quite a while.
Yeah.
Also, this version of Thing is covered in stitches, so
yeah, I mentioned that earlier. He looks like he was made at some point, but
or perhaps he's just been through a lot of stuff like this.
Possibly. I don't know how old he's supposed to be, if he's just supposed to have been around forever. But I thought that scene was pretty powerful, because I think it's one of the times you see the most emotion from Wednesday. because I mean, it's a member of her family is in danger for his life.
Yep. And we actually see a scene where, she basically swore off emotions because she had a bunch of bullies stomp on her pet scorpion. And she was taking her scorpion for a walk on a leash, and they made her watch as they ran it over with their bikes or something. So
jeez.
Yeah. So I don't blame for having an actual granite gravestone that must have cost buckets made for her scorpion.
A custom one. It had a scorpion on it.
Yeah.
They didn't have like scorpion gravestones sitting around.
Oh, well, I'll bet there's a member of the Addams family who got into the gravestone business who was just like, sure you don't want one of the scorpion ones? You sure?
Probably. There's either they have someone in their family, or they have there's like some local stonemason who's like, those people put my kids through college.
What do? Follow my husband around? So yeah, I mean, we can't spoil you on the second season of Wednesday. So if you want to watch that for yourself, we can't stop you.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And Mike, I hope you'll check it out now that we spoiled everything in it.
Yep.
But there's a lot of cool stuff on the
This
journey.
is like when they used to do OG read more. It's like, now that you've seen the thing, you can read the book. Yeah, sure I will, man. Joke's on you. I just have the television version. Yeah, no, it sounds interesting. It's definitely not a take on the Addams that I would expect. It sounds sounds almost like this is more of the Munsters, to be honest.
Yeah, that was kind of my complaint with it to start with. It was like, if you just make them monsters in a world of monsters, how is it different from the Munsters? But then again, it wasn't a world of monsters in the Munsters either, was it?
No, the Munsters were, as far as I know, the only monsters in the Munsters world. But
yeah,
presumably there may be other monster families off screen.
Wasn't there a movie called like the Munster Family Reunion or something?
There was one called Munsters Go Home, which I know because my wife's brother apparently loved it as a kid and insisted they watch it every weekend. So my wife really hates Munsters Go Home. She also hates
that's one way to get on
Stupid.
That's one way to end up on a very specific side of the Munsters versus Addams Family question.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone kind of agrees that the Addams Family are the superior show. I mean, or concept, because we have not. I mean, have the Munsters been revived? I don't think they have.
They did a pilot called like 1313 Mockingbird Lane that was going to be like an updated version of the Munsters, but I haven't seen it.
I mean, I think the thing is the Addams kind of like fit together as a family. Like there's a cohesion there where it's like, yeah, I could imagine this family of weirdos, right? Whereas the Munsters, it's like, so a Frankenstein fucks a vampire and they make a werewolf. I mean, how's that work?
He's a Frankenstein. He got his balls from a werewolf.
Oh, actually, you know what? That does make sense.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay. Wait a second. Is Lily actually a vampire? What is she? She's Grandpa's a vampire.
I never watched the Munsters.
Oh, like Lily is basically just like I'm assuming she is she's like
probably a vampire, but she might just be another horror scream queen, more or less like Morticia.
And she's kind of like a lady vampire, which is kind of almost a different species from a regular vampire, because the grandpa is like a regular vampire, which is like a Dracula type, whereas like a lady vampire is more of like a like they're more of a Morticia thing, or it's like, I assume this is a vampire because it's not a werewolf, it's not a Frankenstein. What else can it be? It's only 4 kinds of monsters in this world. Maybe
if I were rebooting the Munsters, I would have them have a second child, and he would be the new kind of vampire. He would be a sparkly vampire.
Oh, actually, that's pretty good. That's a good concept. So the Munsters, okay, they have there's grandpa who's a vampire. There's Herman the Frankenstein. There's a lady Dracula, Lily, and there's the kid Eddie who's a werewolf. And then there's that like normie girl, right? There's like a normie girl, like a cousin or something.
Yeah, the Luann of the Munsters.
Yeah. And I just feel like the Munsters is like, here's the thing, is like, I just feel like the Munsters are like, okay, this is like, the Addams Family are good year round, but the Munsters are like, this is a Halloween novelty, song DVD. You pull it out once. Like the Munster, like if the Addams Family are like Bauhaus and The Cure and like goth music that you can always listen to, whereas the Munsters are like, oh, this is flying purple people eater and the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes theme song. You only pull it out for the Halloween party. So and the Munsters, I don't know, like what do they do? Like, okay, I'm sorry. The Addams Family, we established there's like two Addams Family plots where it's like someone's trying to steal their like treasure.
Yeah.
Or else it's like some normie comes over to like harass them or something, like a census taker, and they obliviously scare this person. Those are like the two plots. What are the Munsters plots? What do they do? Do they do anything?
I understand that the actual humor of the Munsters was much more macabre and morbid than the Addams Family TV show. And to the point where some people say that the Addams Family movies with Barry Sonnenfeld were actually more Munsters flavored in their humor. But I don't know what the
Munster like a gravedigger or something.
Yeah, I think he literally drove a hearse. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool. That's like he can be in Wacky Races. Yeah, I never watched the Munsters too much. I mostly just know that, like, it's always just fun when you see Al Lewis. It's like, I love that old lech. I love it when he's being gross and stuff.
I like
he was the vampire grandpa, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I always mix him up with the vampire from Gremlins 2.
Who was pretty much dressed like him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, my favorite thing about the Munsters is that Fred Gwynne, who played Herman Munster, in addition to playing a great Frankenstein-like character, he was also a terrific writer and artist and wrote like 5 or 6 picture books.
Oh, did not know that.
Yes, he wrote a book called The King Who Reigned that I had as a kid. Which is, if you haven't seen the cover, this is the kind of thing it was like.
Oh, okay. So it's that kind of reign.
Yes.
I know this book.
Yeah.
My teacher read this to us. We were very like, we were very amused by it.
Yep, just a bunch of puns, or as the girl said, did you ever hear such a bunch of fairy tales?
No, my mom says stories like this drive her up the wall.
Yeah, so he did a bunch of books like that, actually, and a more narrative book about a frog prince called Pondlurker. But it's very nice that Fred Gwynne was, I don't know if he got his EGOT, but he could be, what's EGOT for children's books writers? What do you call it when you win both the Newbery and the Caldecott?
Oh, crap. I'm sorry. Like when children's books win awards, it's always like, oh God, that's going to be a boring slog. No way I'm reading that. It's going to be about like, people coming to terms with stuff. It's like, you're not going to trick me into reading another Maniac McGee. Fuck you, Caldecott.
Good ones. I mean, the Newbery. We Ethan and I actually went through all of them.
Yeah.
Recently to see
we were discussing the idea of starting another podcast about it, but I don't know how that's going.
About all the Caldecott. Wait, all the Caldecott winners, sorry, or which ones?
Newbery. That's the one for writers.
There are people already doing that.
Well, I hate to say it, but I'm you know what? I love you both, but you're both a couple of nerds, so you would do a podcast about books.
Yeah, we would. There is no lie there.
Yeah, couldn't be me. I'm like, reading? No, thank you. That is for that is for the nerds. I don't do that. I don't want to put any wrinkles in my brain.
It's very bold anti-reading stance from an author.
Yes,
that's right. Yes, thank you. I stand by it. I think people should read less. Read less, everyone. Maybe one book. That's all you need. One book. I can tell you which book.
Yes,
book in mind?
The Ink Witch, of course.
Yeah, yes. Actually, well, I will say that is a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. So, read the Ink Witch if you're going to read one book. But if you're going to read two, you might as well read Unboxing Libby too. I mean, well, fake out. You thought I was going to say something different, but I did the old switcheroony. So,
yeah. But once you're done with that, if you must read a third book, you should definitely read Pepper Penwell and the Land Creature of Monster Lake.
Well, that's not a book. That's a comic. That's different. That's an inferior art form, as we all know. Comics, the lowest of the low arts.
Oh, who's a nerd now?
I'm just saying, comics below jazz in the only American arts. I'm sorry, I know I was quiet for a long time, but I was like, I can't end this podcast without coming on and being an asshole. I can't. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be good. I was like, I'm not going to be a jerk. I can't say anything mean about Wednesday because I don't know anything about Wednesday. You fooled me. You got me there, but I'm back now. I'm back in full form. Anyway, sorry. What was I talking about? Comics. Fuck them. Don't. I'm just joking. Comics are fine. I like that they have pictures in them, so you don't have to. But anyway, if you do have to read three, Pepper Penwell's a pretty good one. Pretty good. But what if you read 4 books? Now I've got you, because Steph, I don't think you have a 4th book at all.
I do, but
cry. What is it? Sorry.
It's called Widgie Q Butterfluff.
Damn it! Always 3 steps ahead. You're like the more crime, Steph.
I only have 4, so I mean.
So if you
mere 4.
A mere 4. Well. Thought you were pretty clever with a mere 4 books. Because here's the thing: if people read a 5th book, they would have to, by definition, read a different author. And so I would say, but I mean, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing: if you've read 4 books, my hat is off to you, because you must be like a chess grandmaster with a long white beard, like Zarathustra, like a real brain genius to fit 4 whole books in your head. Ethan, have you read 4 books?
I've certainly done that many videos about books I've read. Yes,
I'm both shocked and appalled to hear a number that high. That's rough. How do you manage to do anything else in life?
Oh, I don't.
Oh, zing. Well, I know, because that's the problem. Your brain is stuffed with books. You can't do anything else, because when you try to go and do other things, those 4 books in your head are like sloshing around, and you can't like tie your shoes or something. It's the problem, So
that's the problem. When I do a cartwheel, it sounds like a bookshelf falling over. That's why they call me America's Sherlock Holmes in sneakers.
I've always called you America's favorite witster.
Wait, I thought you were the witster.
Oh, what were you then?
I was America's favorite funster.
Oh, funster! Yes. Well, that's right, because you are very fun. You're very fun, Ethan. But yeah, and
we can't be cruel to each other for long without being like, no, I'm sorry. We're like, when you wet your Barbie and Ken's faces at the faucet and make them run to each other. I'm sorry.
No. It's all good fun here. We're having a good time. I'm just ribbing y'all because I'm an asshole and it amuses me. But actually,
I don't think you're that much of an asshole at all.
Well, I'm going to be working at it, so just you wait. But no, seriously, actually,
I think you suck at being an asshole.
Oh my God! How fucking dare you? I am I am really working hard at this. This is a late in life conversion. I was nice for a really long time. Yeah, and then I decide that that's not true. Actually, I was not.
It's not.
I was really not. But then I tried to be nice. But it's like I don't know. It's like that episode of a Saturday morning cartoon show where the villain has to be nice for a day for some reason. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Like that sort of thing happens.
Seems like a real Dr. Robotnik kind of thing.
Yeah, like he's like, I have to be nice. Well, I've gotten them all, gross ice cream that's made out of like anchovies and broccoli or something, and everyone's like, oh, that's not nice. Oh, I've tried so hard. Now I'm angry. Now I've decided that I'm being forced to be mean again. I'm being, it's like the alt-right. I'm being forced again. All right. Anyway.
It ends with him begging the bad guy to go back to being bad because he was less effective at hurting them that way.
Yes. See, that's why I had to become an asshole again, because being nice was it was hurting too many people. People were like, "This is terrible. Please don't do this anymore." Yes. And I was like, you know what? The people have spoken. They want the return of Mean Mike, as we remember as that classic character from Peter No Tail. But not the American version.
That's a deep cut, yeah.
It's a deep cut. It's not the American version. It's only the British version. America, he's Mean Max, because Mike is not a mean name. Max is, though. So they had to do it.
Sorry, all you Maxes.
Fuck them. They're all mean, so who cares?
Yeah. Especially that little rabbit.
I hate that rabbit. He's always
annoying his sister Ruby.
Yeah, she tries so hard, and Max is always fucking things up. And it's you know what? If I were Ruby, I would not stand for that sort of shit. I would put my foot down.
Yeah, right in the shoe where he parked his popsicle.
Yeah, and I would be like, Max, we are having a long talk. I'm done with this bullshit. You are no longer going to do whatever you do as I don't know what Max. I don't know. That's a book. I haven't read it. I'm sorry. I was trying to pretend to look like I was smart, but I haven't read it. I don't know what happens in those books. It's
they're board books. You haven't read the board books.
You're right. They are very boring. So yes. No, of course I haven't read them. I told you, I've read a book.
Yeah, they're board books. They're for chewing on.
Yeah, they're for eating. I have lots of books. I have a whole shelf of them, so that when people come over, I can be like, "Oh yes, you see my books? This is the sort of thing a smart person would have in their house," which I am. So thanks for yes. I'm enjoying a sniffer of the brandy right now and wearing my smoking jacket. Yes, books. The thinking man's entertainment. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. This is great. We have a whole extra 20 minutes of this bullshit at the end of the podcast. Why not? Because we love it.
You bit your tongue all this time, not interrupting us about this show that you hadn't watched. So, next time we should definitely talk about something that you've actually seen.
I don't think that's a good idea, to be honest, because then you're going to get a lot more of this. And no, it's good. Actually, I was happy not to talk for a little while because I got to hear an interesting conversation between two intelligent people. And that is not something I get very often in my day. I usually avoid it because it makes. And I'm like, I don't know what these big words are. They're hurting my ears.
You probably read a book.
Always back to the books, Ethan. It's like you're some sort of reader or something. Almost like a hungry reader.
Yes.
Some kind. Oh, I'd say like with a desire for food, almost like an appetite for books, almost a desire to eat them. I'm not sure. There's a word I'm looking for. If I was a reader, I might be able to think of it, but.
Now, just think of me like the George C. Scott smoke monster, but for books.
Oh, yes.
Drugs don't worry. Books don't teach you anything. They just make you feel good.
Oh, well, you know what? Now I'm kind of sold on this. This sounds good. I would. It's really books make you feel good, huh? But are they addictive?
Oh, I mean, they're practically addictive.
Oh, we're doing a little. We're moving into some food fight territory there.
Hungry.
The library gives books out for free.
Oh, really?
At first.
I hear that they have fines, though. Is that true?
Well, they're free at first, but the longer you hang on to them, the longer you gotta pay, man.
You know, here's a funny thing about the library: they only make you pay if you give the book back.
That's true. Well, I mean, and never come back.
Oh yeah, they're like, never darken our door again. And I'm like, fine, didn't want to anyway. Why would I want to go to a room full of books?
Everybody gets one free book.
One free book. You know what I would do with that book? I couldn't think of anything else to do. So yeah, I guess I'd read it. I guess if I had to, if I was mandated by law to check out a book from the library, I guess I'd read it. I did go to the library once, you know, and I went in there and I was like, I was like, look at these objects, these strange objects that they you know, and then the guy from the Neverending Story was like, "Oh, you wouldn't know what these are." I was like, "I sure wouldn't." Yeah, no, there's a library in town though. I go to it sometimes, and I'm just like, "Oh yes, I see you have computers that you use for things here. Cool."
Everything is so still, and your footsteps enter as if you were walking into a great tomb. And then when you come up to the desk, the librarian stares at you with her big eyes, and she says,
that actually sounds pretty scary. Maybe I shouldn't go to the library. I don't know. Is the library a threatening place? Is it worth going to? These are the questions that we have to ask.
Well, it's getting to be the Halloween season, so your library is probably going to be pretty spooky.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm like, just like, I've just been like, oh, we have a librarian here. It's time to talk shit about the library. It's time. Steph is being very kind. Like, here, just quiet, like,
Well, that's okay. As librarians, we talk shit about people all the time. So.
Oh, still.
Is this true?
Yeah, but I'm not going to talk about specific people.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can't believe you're being professional here on our podcast.
Okay, well, tell us something about Mr. X.
I didn't come prepared with a story, but if you annoy the librarians, then you're going to get talked about.
Ooh, well,
we do know if you come to the library and you're weird. I will tell you, there was a guy who was famous called Spanky Dave. That wasn't his real name, but he was infamous across several library systems because he would call and ask people for books on like spanking, as punishment, but in a way that he was clearly like getting off to making somebody tell him about it. So he got banned from a lot of library systems. That wasn't really a funny story. It's like a gross story. Sorry.
That's kind of funny, honestly.
That was all that came to mind.
Well, no, that's actually, to me, that's very funny. I just want to know, was his name actually Dave?
It was Ethan.
It was Ethan? Wait a second here.
Do you guys have any spanking stories?
I actually do not have any spanking stories. I have not spanked. I don't believe in corporal punishment because it's too sexy.
I don't believe in corporal punishment either. They never use him.
They should use General Dilemma. I don't know.
I was thinking of Krusty the Clown's sidekick who eats rats.
Oh yes, it's deep cut.
Yeah.
He's worked with a lot of sidekicks over the years, but none as great as Sideshow. Joaquin? Who was the one he said was the best? I don't even.
Bob, or no, not Bob.
Yeah,
Sideshow Hakeem was it the the towering guy.
Maybe, yeah, that's the guy. It was like, I'm supposed to hit you with this mallet. I wouldn't do that. Right on. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming and discussing Wednesday on this Monday.
Thank you.
It's almost Wednesday by now.
Thank you very much for having me.
Steph, do you want to? I know you mentioned some of your books earlier in the show. Is there anything else that you want to plug, or any place where people can find your books or you on the internet that we should know about?
You can visit me at stephcherrywell.com. But other than that, I mentioned the books right off because I wanted to make sure to get that in there. So
smart.
I was not shy about promoting myself.
Not only that, we promoted some of your way out of print books too.
Yep,
that's impressive. That is an impressive amount of brain power for someone who reads, I have to say. Very clever.
Well, don't be like Mike. Visit your local library and look for The Ink Witch or Unboxing Libby.
Yes.
Or do be like Mike, because I'm pretty sure Mike just bought copies.
Yeah. Absolutely. You see, listen, I buy books all the time. I love buying them. I don't read them. That's something else. I am a book talk type person. I like to arrange my books by color and make pictures and put them online and be like, look at my books. Isn't this a pretty rainbow of books? And people are like, are they any good? I wouldn't know. I'm not a reader. I don't know how reading works. There's just marks on a page to me. So, but yes, be like me in the sense you should buy lots of books, but you can also be like Steph and go to a library, get them for free, and actually read them.
You don't have to work at the library to get it for free, by the way.
Oh damn! This is a real coup. They just let anyone in, don't they? Except for Spanky Dave.
Yeah. And they at my local library, they won't let you into the children's section unless you have a child with you.
What?
I guess that's they don't want anyone to be hanging around trying to talk to the kids. But
that's fair. I guess that's fair in this modern world we live in. That does remind me when I went to I had to call up the Chuck E. Cheese or what analog we had in town, and it was like, hey, we're coming to a birthday. We do not have children. Is that okay? Are we allowed in? And they were okay with it, but Good. It was kind of an embarrassing call to make. They're like, we're not bringing children. When we leave, we'll take children with us, But no, I'm kidding. We did not actually kidnap any children. You got to put that caveat. You got to put that in there. People take it out of context.
Not kidnap any children. We paid good money for them.
That's right. It was all nice and legal on the table. It's like, I'm sorry, I need some children to work this coal mine that I have. And, it's nothing like gross or sexual or anything. I'm not, It was just, we need some children for slave labor because they're smaller. They fit in the mine shaft better. Yes. You just shoot them right down there,
And I can't use this weasel and rabbit that work for me because one of them is cost too much. And the other one is starving because his food keeps turning into children.
Yeah, it's a hard life. Are we okay? I'm good. Is this okay to post this episode? I'm talking about we're gonna kidnap children for slave labor. By the way, the esteemed children's writer Steph Cherrywell is here with us. Steph, what do you think about the prospect of kidnapping children for slave labor? I believe for it, right? We're for it, right? Yes. No.
Doesn't it come up as a element in the stories in some ways? I mean, that's kind of what happens in Unboxing Libby, right? These children are being made to work.
Well, they're robots, so they're considered property in this world.
No, but to them, they're not. To themselves, they're not property.
It's a harrowing tale of capitalism.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we don't live under that.
Oh, thank God we live in a good old Soviet US of A.
Yeah. All hail Brezhnev. So okay. Sorry, again.
As scared as I.
Anyway, thank you for joining us, Steph, and go buy the Ink Witch.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna just cut there.
Yeah.
Or stop, Craig. Stop, Craig. Stop it.